Net neutrality is not controversial, not even something that should have ever became a question. Prior to the Bush administration, it simply was a protocol. It was later just barely re-implemented under the Obama administration after Comcast had started throttling their video delivery competitor, Netflix, and eventually got them to pay a ransom. If you tried to watch Netflix on a Comcast connection in early 2014, you definitely know what I'm talking about. Why did Netflix do this? And how did they get away with it? To answer your first question, it was the profitable thing to do. That's it. And protect their own market share. That's it. Stop trying to create elaborate conspiracies out of profoundly simple questions that include incentive. The goal of these behemoths is more. They scheme on how to squeeze more value out of the services that are already ubiquitous. As far as how they got away with it, it wasn't illegal to do so. Net neutrality has been suspended previously, and it wasn't until the internet was deemed a public utility again that this behavior was curbed significantly. The people who overtly speak ill of net neutrality are almost always on the take in one way or another from the communications lobby, or some horrific think tank funded by corporations to push horrible ideas, or they work for NBC, which is owned by Comcast, so of course they can't trash it. That's right, MSNBC. And the people in favor of net neutrality are all over the political compass because it makes sense to not allow ISPs to control bandwidth for their own incentive. It just does. Their job is to carry data packets, period. Just like the water utility doesn't tell you what you can use the water for, that's it. You paid for the water. But just to throw some bootlickers under the bus, let's listen to some of the arguments against net neutrality. And stay with me long enough, or just skip ahead in the video, and I'll tell you the obvious, cost-effective, sane solution that's far better for all consumers and businesses in the end, except the internet service providers, and it will end this debacle of net neutrality altogether.
Going forward.
What does it mean for the media industry, and what does it mean for consumers? How could the world look different with this new set of rules?
I think we'll see a lot more digital opportunity in smaller towns and lower income areas in urban cities. We'll see more of a chance of investment in infrastructure. We'll see more entrepreneurs who are able to compete using these ubiquitous networks. And ultimately, consumers are going to be much better off.
Ajit, you know I have to ask you, and I know you don't want to talk about it, but this AT&T Time Warner thing, it's heating up now. You know, what is sort of this, where's the DOJ coming from on this one?
Unfortunately, I can't tell you. I haven't spoken to them about it. I haven't even had a chance to review the complaint. Obviously, we've been pretty busy on some of the plans that we've been rolling out. But ultimately, we'll see where it goes, either in negotiations or in court, as I understand it.
What would be your hope for the media industry as we move forward, based on the change in rules, the less burdensome regulations? How do you see media developing?
For me, at least, the hope is that if the FCC does its job and modernizes these regulations, brings our rules up to date instead of being mired in 1975, that all kinds of media companies will have a better chance to compete. They'll have more of an opportunity to collect local information and distribute it on a number of platforms, and ultimately we'll have a more informed citizenry. That's good, obviously, for America. That's also good, I think, for a lot of these journalists who are really struggling in some of these smaller markets.
You know what? You can't argue with that.
Well, you just have to listen to that explanation that Chairman Pai just had. Let's think about this. Transparency is the solution. So all that is necessary to do something evil is to tell you that I'm about to do something evil. That doesn't make any sense. And then, okay, what do you do once you have that information? 2/3 of the households in America have no other choice as to where they're going to get their internet. So this is, to go out and claim that somehow this is some kind of consumer protection is a fraudulent representation.
They say their proposal is more fair, more pro-consumer. What makes you think it's actually the opposite?
Well, I mean, in the name of consumer protection, they say they're not going to protect consumers. In the name of better regulation, they say they're going to turn it over to the FTC, but yet an FTC commissioner Commissioner McSweeney this afternoon tweeted that even if they do that, the FTC doesn't have any authority.
You know what? You can't argue with that. You know what? You can't argue with that. You know what? You can't argue with that.
Got a number one. Hey, how you doing?
Do you know what number 98, what's going on with it?
Number 98, you got the Whopper?
Yeah.
So you got the slow access Whopper pass?
Wait,
It's on the menu right there with the fast, medium, and slow.
Slow MBPS, fast MBPS, or hyper fast MBPS. MBPS, of course, standing for making burgers per second.
So if we want a Whopper now, we have to pay $26.
Well, that's how you get it fast. That's the highest priority.
This is like a lane
It's
system?
gonna be like 15, yeah, fast lane, slow lane. So like maybe like 15, 20 minutes.
What are you talking about?
Burger King Corporation believes that they can sell more and make more money selling like chicken sandwiches and chicken fries, so now they're slowing down the access to the Whopper.
Were you given an option of a chicken sandwich or?
yeah, I don't want a chicken sandwich, Robert. I want a Whopper.
Do you have any Whoppers ready that aren't?
Yeah,
The sandwich is ready. I'm just not allowed to actually get it to you.
Why? You can't give me the sandwich. It's ready, but you can't give it to me?
Whopper neutrality was repealed. They voted on it.
What? This doesn't make any sense.
Fortunately, I have no other choice.
Oh my God, this is the worst thing I've ever heard of.
See, like he got the fast, and now he's getting his.
Are you kidding me? You paid $26 for a Whopper?
Yeah, he ordered it. Now he's a higher priority. So
If,
Oh, guys, like I want a burger, man.
If you'd like,
this is a bad dream right now. I just want a burger, brother. A burger.
you want
I
to
feel like
pay
I'm
more.
going. I feel like I'm going to say this is crazy.
here's what I'll do. You have the bag, and I can put it in the bag in 42 seconds. Hold on, 10 seconds.
We don't make the rules.
You just enforce these ridiculous rules.
Fortunately, we have to.
Guys, come on.
I felt like I was being taken advantage of in a sense. Just as a customer coming in to get their food, it felt like a power move.